Boxing King Media. We're delighted to be joined by trainer Ben Davison. Ben, massive fight for your guy. There was a lot of tension on that press conference earlier today. Where does that come from?
I think that Mick's used to be in the A side, but obviously he's the B side here, and I had a feeling that he may approach it in that manner. Look, and that's the difference between experience. Lee's obviously experienced, been there before, and as I spoke about, there's a lot of pressure on both guys here, and pressure can be your friend. It can create a diamond, or it can be your worst nightmare and burst pipes. And I think the pressure's a little bit getting to Mick there.
The general consensus from fans is that Lee either stops him late or Conlon beats him on points. Can you change that, and how do you do that?
Oh, of course. Like, if Mick doesn't respect Lee's power, the fight could be over early. There's no two ways about that. Of course it can. And anybody can get clipped. I'm sure Mick's not known as the biggest puncher, but I'm sure he can punch hard. And I said the exact same thing to Lee going into the Kanzu fight. That if he goes into that fight underestimating Kanzu's power, obviously he's not a puncher, but if he goes into that fight underestimating Kanzu's power, it'll seem like he can punch, a lot harder than what you initially thought, and it becomes a problem. So you have to be mentally strong and very aware of the opponent's strengths and weaknesses. Can Mick rack up a few rounds? Of course he can. Can Lee pick up rounds and bank rounds? Of course he can. Both fights are very versatile, so it just makes it for an interesting fight, and that's why there's such a great response to these press conferences, and as Eddie was saying, to the fight and the ticket sales.
There seemed to be a bit of beef between yourself and the Conlon brothers. Where's that come from, or is it just from this fight?
No, there's no beef. I said before, I really like Jamie, and I don't know Mick as a person, but respect him as a fighter. But when people have big occasions coming up, people often end up telling them what they feel like they want to hear when they're around them, and that's probably what's happened there. I think that the Brees Mould thing, I said to Lee and I said to everybody that this is a tough fight, and if Lee didn't go about it the right way, of course, potential lose. Same as this fight, same as the Kanzu fight. When you're boxing at that level, of course you have to be mentally strong enough to be aware that if I get this wrong, I lose the fight. That's part of the pressure that comes that helps create that diamond, being the performance. Obviously, having worked with Lee for 7 weeks going into that fight, it was important he got it right. So never said that I thought Brees Mould was going to beat Lee Wood, but I did say that I believe that if Lee gets it wrong, then Reece can win the fight. Of course he can. And then what was the other one about? Saying about Josh Kelly, David Avanesian fight, said that Mick could beat Lee or something. That fight at that time was never even close about being spoke about, so I don't know where that would have come up from. But as I say, people end up telling you what they think that you want to hear. But you need to be mentally stronger than to believe those kind of things. The reality is these two boys are going to get in the ring. I believe in Lee Wood. And the other thing with the Brees Mould thing is, if I thought Lee was going to get beat, what would I have took him into that fight for? Financially gaining it obviously wasn't great. So if I didn't think he was going to win the fight, why would I have took him into the fight? So, nonsense.
And with regards to the trainers, two respected trainers, Adam Booth and yourself, how much of a tactical battle is this with you and Adam obviously going head to head as trainers? Yeah,
I think there's definitely a big element of tactics going to have to play out in this fight. I think that Mick's very versatile, Lee's very versatile. Both fighters can make a lot of adjustments, and that means that you have to be aware of what you need to do when each fighter makes those adjustments. So yeah, there could be attack. Obviously, it's about the two fighters, of course, but both fighters have to get the game plan right.
I've got to ask you, you recently commented about some of the British coaches being lazy. Is Adam Booth one of them trainers you referred to?
No, so I don't know why he got late. I might have said UK, but I actually meant boxing worldwide. The level of coaching boxing worldwide is poor. What I meant was, I probably didn't get the point across very well, in comparison to other elite sports. I don't know if I said that part in the interview, I'm not sure. When you compare the level of coaching in boxing compared to elite basketball, elite American football, even elite football, look at the facilities that those training facilities have compared to some of the gyms that we've got. Look at film studies, scouting reports, specific warm-up drills. Very, very standard in those sports. Not standard in elite. They're standard in high school level with those sports. Not standard in elite level in boxing. So I'm a boxing coach myself. So I'm in that group. But the level of coaching all round is poor when you compare it to other elite sports. In terms of lazy, I didn't explain this part great either, to be fair. It's quite a bad interview, that one.
We need to sit down with you.
What I mean is, the coaches that you get, a lot of coaches that, that coach just got lucky with that fight. That coach got lucky. He's only known as a coach because he coached him. It's always luck, this, that. Adam's a successful coach, no? He's earned that because he's worked hard. He's successful for a reason. I've never met anybody that's very successful in any walk of life without having to work hard. I pointed that at the coaches that haven't had the success and blame it on, because of this, because of that. And of course, some people haven't had the success because the opportunity hasn't arisen yet. But people talk about luck. Luck is when preparation and opportunity meet, and that preparation is built through the hard work. Some people, that opportunity still might be coming, but the people that aren't prepared and haven't worked hard to be prepared for that opportunity aren't going to be able to take it. Sometimes that boat has come and is sailed because they've not been ready, because of lazy attitude. That he just got lucky, he just got lucky. So that's what I meant by that.
Fairly pointed out. Last question, I'm going to ask you about the Fury-White situation. Apparently there's rumours now that the Middle East are interested in staging Tyson Fury versus Usyk and AJ and White to step aside. What's your views on that, and do you think that's the right fight to make for Tyson next?
Well, it seems like there's 4 guys that potentially be boxing for those titles, and I think that any match-up between those 4 guys is a great fight. The winners fight each other, makes sense. So yeah, I'm happy with any fight that gets made out of those 4 guys.
Ben, thank you so much for your time and all the best.
No problem.
Wait, what you done there?